So, weiter geht's mit Genshin. Und yay, Donnerstagabend, kurz vor 12. Es ist schon wieder viel zu spät geworden, aber okay. Whatever. Zumindest muss ich heute nichts mehr machen, außer jetzt in die Quest reingehen. Yay, klappe sie bei. Mir ist gerade aufgefallen, dass anscheinend, wenn man sich auf PS5 einloggt, dass irgendwie anscheinend der Welkin Moon irgendwie autoclaimed wird. Also, ich habe das UI dafür nicht gesehen, dass ich es akzeptieren muss, dass ich es eingesammelt habe und ich habe es trotzdem schon bekommen. Das hat mich gerade verwirrt. Ich dachte, ich habe irgendwie Primus verloren, aber nö. Das war einfach nur UI-technisch nicht zu sehen und es wurde eingesammelt, aber okay. Und ja, eigentlich habe ich jetzt genau da aufgehört, wo ich gestern Abend aufgehört habe. Ich habe jetzt angefangen, wo ich gestern Abend aufgehört habe. Ich stand gerade noch an der Klippe mit Blick auf Dornenport und habe mich einfach nur hergeportet erstmal. Yay. Und bevor ich jetzt länger laber, ohne was zu machen. Ich will heute Abend Fortschritt sehen. Dann wieder so knapp 2,5 Stunden bis Viertel nach 2. Und ich hoffe, dass ich in 2,5 Stunden jetzt irgendwie mit der Quest vorankomme. Wahrscheinlich nicht, aber naja. Man kann hoffen. Return to Special Story Mode. So, wo lande ich jetzt? Oh, das ist nett. Das ist sehr nett. Also, eigentlich stand ich da oben, als ich rausgegangen bin. Aber ich finde schön, dass ich jetzt direkt hier unten Achso, sogar Fokus jetzt wieder. Mhm. Dass ich jetzt automatisch hier unten runtergelassen werde beim Schachbrett mit den komischen random Teleportern. Ja, why not? Warte mal. Wenn das Dashwoods Pyramide ist das Kashni-Suit-Ding gewesen? Das weiß ich gerade spontan nicht. Ist das das muss Aro Village sein, eigentlich, ja. Das kommt mit Kashni-Suit hin. Dann kommt aber das nicht hin. Whatever, I don't care. Geht's hier zur Trigger Chess Piece? Geht's hier runter zur Quelle? Nee, oder? Hm. Aha. Divergence into oneself. Look for Lilupa.
Let's see. She should be around here somewhere.
Wirklich? Also, wenn man außerhalb der Story-Quest hierher geht, dann ist sie hier definitiv nicht, da bin ich mir sicher. Just saying.
Found her.
Natürlich. Oh. Irgendwie ist sie leise gewesen.
What a long dream that was. It's been a while, my master. Oh, and you're here too, little wildcat. The four of us back together again. Imagine that.
Heißt aber, dass sie halt nicht gestorben ist. Sie ist einfach wirklich nur irgendwo anders hingegangen und hat uns an sich verlassen. How have you been? I hope this wasn't a rude awakening.
In truth, it was at first. I was none too pleased when those miscreants barged in. But it did give me the chance to reunite with you, dear master, so I shall overlook their folly. After we last parted ways, I merged with the land beneath Gurabad to suppress the dark calamities stirring in the depths. It rekindled the flame of vengeance within the Jinn, depriving Gurabad of any hope of peace. I fought against it for a long, long time, until one day, I sensed a change in a foreign land to the west. Suddenly, the pitch-black abyss fell silent.
Unsere Abenteuer in Natlan? Müsste, oder? Ja, eigentlich schon. Falling into the west, could she mean that then? Gurabad isn't far from there. Did the abyssal presence beneath the city fall silent when we defeated Gurzoitov?
Once satisfied that that dark power could no longer bewitch the Jinn, I too fell into a deep slumber, from which I have only now awoken. Why have you returned to Gurabad, my master? And why is my sand-swept homeland in disarray once more?
Well, basically, Sumira is in danger and a lot of our friends are affected. Some bad guys messed around with Irminsul and now they've released the Jinn in here. We managed to chase off the culprits, but we have no idea how to seal this place back up and stop the sandstorms.
Child's play. I shall quell the Jinn and scatter the storms. Thank you, Lilupar. No need to thank me, my master. I have granted many wishes in my time, and this was the most trivial of them all.
Okay. Yay, es werde einigermaßen Licht.
The sandstorm's gone. The sun shines bright again. When I said that we'd meet again under a lovelier sun, this was exactly how I imagined it.
Yay! Although, honestly, Paimon would love to hang out with you more, even if the weather sucked.
Was machen die Leute eigentlich, die die Quest vorher nicht gespielt haben? Ist das wieder so ein Moment, wo man random gesagt bekommt, ach ja, das ist Jed, du hast das und das mit ihr gemacht? Oder wie ist das mit dir machen? That goes for me too.
Well, there shouldn't be any more gin breaking out, right? Are we okay to head back?
Yeah, let's all head to the Temple of Silence.
Sounds good. You can introduce us to your other friends.
Another adventure begins. Lovely.
Oh, die kommen sogar mit. Die werden bekannt gemacht. Damn. What a time to be alive.
The storms have stopped. We should be able to get to the Temple of Silence without any problems now. Time to regroup.
Was mir jetzt irgendwie fehlt, ist vom letzten Event halt dieses komische Oasenherz, was Nicole, was Alice gemacht hat. Dass jetzt irgendwo hier wirklich ein Oasendorf noch wieder gemacht wird. Naja. Was soll's. Gut. Achso, der Eingang war ja so komplett randommäßig irgendwie holographisch. Okay. Dupdi.
So, this is the Temple of Silence. I've heard the Nagarjanites mention it in passing, but I never imagined it would be this big. It's colossal.
I thought the temple moved to the rainforest ages ago. When did they scamper back into the desert?
I don't know. This plan sounds a little too risky for my liking.
Even in King Deshret's day, this was experimental technology. We have no idea what could happen if we activate it.
Well, unless you know of another viable alternative for the Akasha terminal, I'm afraid this is our only option.
The plan is sound, and the risks are manageable. However, if we are to proceed, we must act quickly. The scale of this project is enormous. Even with Krai, Farozan, and every other scholar of mechanics working on it full-time, the proposed modifications won't happen overnight.
You're back. Everything all right? And who are they?
Friends of yours?
Pretty much everyone in the Temple of Silence is. This guy's Kave, and the one next to him is Alhaitham.
Hello, I'm Jet, and this is Lilupar.
Oh, a famous name from the history books.
Pleased to meet you. A friend of a friend is a friend of mine, as they say.
Who's they?
Huh? Do people not say that?
Not in the desert. Friends you can trust, but friends of friends? Gotta keep an eye on them. Still, I do trust the Traveler's judgment. I'm sure you're good people.
The sandstorms have calmed down. I take it the Gurabod problem is resolved? What did you find?
Batui Dude hier. Batui Dude
After
da.
getting all smarmy with us, he trapped us there. Luckily, Jet used the mechanism outside to free us, and then we got Lilupar to put a stop to the chaos.
Wow. Thanks for being there to help them.
So, this mystery man openly admitted that he was merely a Harbinger subordinate.
Yeah? Is there something weird about that?
Now that he mentions it, it's a little strange.
I assume you aren't naive enough to expect answers from an enemy. Well deduced. Our commander, Dottore, died in Nordkrai.
He was really unwilling to answer our questions when we first met, so why would he admit to being Dottoro's subordinate later?
Are you wondering about his true identity? Or do you think there's a big conspiracy behind all this?
I wouldn't go as far as to call it a conspiracy. Just the simple fact that having someone to shift the blame on tends to prove useful should trouble come knocking later. The most important thing for now is to solve the immediate problem. Perhaps that man knew you wouldn't have the resources to investigate his background and so didn't put much effort into disguising himself.
This is all getting a little cryptic for me. I'll let you guys talk while I take a walk with Lee Lupar.
Jet?
Aren't you with the Blazing Beasts? What a coincidence. Didn't expect to run into you here.
We're mercs. You can run into us anywhere. Who's this with you?
So, did you find the solution you were looking for in the Temple of Silence?
Ja gut, dass die sich irgendwie kennen müssten, hätte man ja schon erwarten können. Na gut, weiter.
You bet we did. This place is incredible. It has everything. So far, we've discussed a plan and verified its feasibility. Building a new system from scratch is out of the question. So our only option is to modify the Akasha using certain resources we hope to find in the mausoleum of King Deshret.
Aha, neuer Eintrag. Safi Shatranj. A board constructed during King Deshret's rule over the Sea of Sand, modeled after the entirety of Sumeru. Naja, im Wüsten Sumeru. It stands as a symbol of the God King's foresight and wisdom. Ja. Spannend. Modify how? What resources?
According to certain sources in the Temple of Silence, there is a core device in King Deshret's mausoleum known as Aru. Little is known about this device in academic circles, which suggests it was hidden quite effectively. If these sources prove correct, the energy contained within Aru may be sufficient to power our Akasha renovation plan.
Ist das Ding unter seinem Mausoleum? Ich meine ja. Was ist diese Art Totenreich eigentlich?
However, this raises difficult questions regarding technological integration. The sages are still debating it.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll reach a compromise once they've argued it out. The people of the rainforest are always cautious when it comes to desert technology. But times of crisis like this leave us with little choice.
Wait, Paimon has a question. Is this the same Aru we've heard of before? It's sealed off, right? Some sort of prison where the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King are locked up.
Well remembered. Yes, that's exactly right. According to our records, Aru was the most brilliant creation King Deshret ever conceived of. Built by divine and mortal artisans working together. It was a miraculous accomplishment, and it lies hidden deep within the king's mausoleum to this day. That being said, what Aru actually does and why it was built, those are deep secrets we are not privy to. Until recently, I wouldn't have been optimistic that the place even exists. The only reason I'm inclined to believe it now is because we heard it from the Ibis King Thoth himself at his temple. The tale of how the 3 retainers of Al-Akhmar were imprisoned in Aru.
Paimon totally gets that. When Paimon first heard about it, she thought it sounded pretty unbelievable too. Do you guys still remember that? The Ibis King told us they were trapped in Aru and that they had to answer 3 questions to get out.
I think I remember. What causes our rise and fall? What obliterates love and hate? And what determines truth and falsehood? Those were the 3 questions, right?
Ist das nicht kompletter Event-Talk gerade wieder? Das war doch das Event in Sumeru vor ein paar Patches. Das war nicht der Teil mit Neffers Story-Quest in der Archon-Quest, oder? Nee, war es nicht. Aber das baut aufeinander auf, glaube ich. Entweder war erst Neffers Quest und dann das Event, oder erst das Event und dann Neffers Quest. Die müssen echt was an den Quests drehen für Neulinge.
Yeah. Oh, if only Nefer were here. She's dealt with the Ibis King before, so she might know more. Oh, Nefer is a friend we met in Krai.
Not Krai. Funny, she showed up here earlier.
Huh?
Yeah, had another lady with her too. Both said they knew you. They contacted the sages, claiming they might be able to offer some assistance.
Really? They came here to help out?
Yes, really. It was just before you got back. One of them said she's made Nod Krai her home. If she's the person you were talking about, then...
Also Columbino?
Looks like betting on Aru was the right choice.
See? They're right over there.
Okay, Nicole und Nefer.
Nicole! Never!
Why, hello! We're here to help.
Ich wollte lesen.
It's a good thing we left early. We almost got locked out.
Locked out? What do you mean?
Aru. An ideal realm fashioned in imitation of the Heavenly Principle's act of creation. His knowledge and techniques the goddess of flowers obtained from Celestia. Through it, King Deshret sought to forge a golden slumber that would unite countless forms of wisdom and dream. Though this vision ultimately failed, many souls of the desert's people are said to still wander within. Okay, Nefer, head of the Chrono Secrets and the true power behind the scenes at the Voynich Guild. Like so many others who have made their way to Nashtown, she too is a kinless exile from a distant shore. However, she is no common soul worn thin by greed. She deftly walks that thin line between power and conspiracy, always looking out for the perfect moment to strike. In the pursuit of intel and or riches, you will find no better dealer. Just be sure to come prepared for payments that is worthy of her time. Ich wollte den Kram gar nicht mehr vorlesen, hatte ich gesagt, oder? Ja, nur die Leute, die vielleicht einigermaßen wichtig sind. Nicole. A member of the Hexen Circle known as N. She is an angel who did not degenerate into a Seelie, but has instead lived in human form to this day. As she cannot speak, she communicates with others using a unique method, conveying thoughts directly into the consciousness of her opposite. Her knowledge is so profound that she can cite even long-lost histories effortlessly, speaking of them with intimate familiarity. Yed Ufaira Hindi. A desert-born mercenary once explored the mausoleum of King Deshret alongside you and witnessed the sacrifice of her father, Jebrael. Ach, das ist wieder so ein Ding, wo das J wie im Ding im Spanischen H ist, also Hebrael. Afterward, Jet returned to her father's homeland and joined the Tanit tribe, hoping to lay her parents' relics to rest at the Eternal Oasis. While searching for the Eternal Oasis, you met Lilupa, the mother of the Jinn, and gradually uncovered the conspiracy hidden within the Tanit tribe. After destroying the Tanit tribe, Yed found her own mercenary company and continues to roam the Sea of Sand. Ja.
Oh, you haven't heard? An invisible barrier has appeared around Sumeru's borders, cutting off all travel in and out. No one can leave and no one can enter. Sumeru has become a lonely island.
Wie alle Maps heutzutage. Der Mond im nächsten Patch genauso.
Are the Fatui behind this too?
Actually, no. This has nothing to do with them. I suspect it's a defense mechanism within Irminsul itself. Irminsul is the source of Tevat's ley lines after all, and Sumeru is the nation closest to it. I imagine this function was put in place to seal the entire region off in the event of serious damage, preventing the disaster from spreading to the rest of Tevat. It may have been implemented long ago.
But doesn't that mean that the people here won't be able to escape to other nations if the anomaly keeps spreading?
Currently, that does appear to be the case, which is precisely why I am here. This is a critical moment for the world, and Sumeru is the eye of the storm.
So, you brought Nefer here?
Paimon's surprised you managed to convince her to come back to Sumeru.
Indeed. Even for someone of my wisdom and eloquence, this tested my skills to the limit.
And why should it concern me that Sumeru's in trouble? Surely you don't think I still have feelings for that place?
Judging by your tone, I suppose you don't.
Sounds like you don't know much about my past. And here I thought you knew everything.
All I know is that the Ibis King is the source of your power. He was quite a prominent moon envoy once upon a time, so I do know a thing or two about him. As for your past, I have ways to learn the full story if I wish to. But everyone has secrets they'd rather keep to themselves, wouldn't you say?
I'm glad you see it that way, Miss Nicole. I've chosen to call Krai home, which is why I did my part in its hour of need. That doesn't mean world savings become a habit with me. I have no particular desire to play hero in Sumeru, thank you.
I understand. Human emotions do not appear and disappear without cause. There is always a reason to be found behind both salvation and destruction. Still, if time has taught me anything, it's that human emotions are often complex and in conflict. That's why people change their minds about things all the time. But that's where we angels come in. Our duty, ultimately, is to guide people towards their deepest, truest desires and help bring them to fruition. So I wish to hear about your past, because I do not believe you are motivated by hatred alone. And if we still arrive at different conclusions in the end, that's okay.
I refuse.
Wait, what? But I set the atmosphere and everything. Isn't this supposed to be the moment when we finally open up to one another?
Is it? Maybe I'm not so good at reading the atmosphere. You're right, Nicole. There's more to me than just hatred. Had it consumed me, I'd be left stuck in the past forever, never living in the present. But I don't think that your guidance can change my mind. The all-consuming sands, the bloodshed, both deserved and undeserved. Those old emotions cling to me like a shadow.
Do you wish to shake them off?
No. I hope to remember them forever. Those emotions and memories shaped me into the person I am today. They'll always be a part of me.
In that case, would you like to hear my perspective, at least?
Sure. It's not every day you get to hear an angel's opinion.
A long, long time ago, when the angels still walked freely upon the earth, I found life tedious. Monotonous work, lukewarm relationships. Things weren't nearly as interesting as they are now. And yet, since the angel's demise, I have found myself missing those days on more than one occasion. Human emotions are often attached to a person, a place, or an object. When those things are gone, the memories quickly fade, and the emotions slip away along with them. If Sumeru were destroyed, both rainforest and desert would be no more. With the object of your hatred wiped from existence, it would not take long for the memories buried deep in your heart to slowly fade. Both love and hate are intense emotions, but they are nothing compared to the void left behind when they disappear.
Most sophisticated, Miss Nicole. But anyone focused on the future could only ever applaud the destruction of the things they hate. Still, I'm a special case. Someone once told me that human memory is more selective than a Mora-hungry merchant choosing between customers. We all need a reality check once in a while, so we don't forget the truth. As much as I dislike Sumeru, this is no way for it to perish. All right, you win. I'll help you out a little, but I won't work for free.
How much will you need? You're not gonna milk this for all it's worth, are you?
What do you think?
I'll be upfront with you. I don't have much more on me. If that's what you need, I could borrow some from Alice. Or perhaps I could pay in sculptures. The ones I carve are actually worth quite a lot.
Just cover my travel expenses.
Huh? Is that all?
That's all. Given all the people I owe favors to, I can just about justify a trip to Sumeru. Yehoda!
Here, boss! What do you need?
I'm going back to Sumeru for a while. While I'm away, you'll be in charge of the curatorium.
Oha. Yehoda. Wir kennen sie, wir kennen sie, wir lieben sie und das reicht. Als Text gelesen. Es ist noch nicht so lange her, dass wir mit ihr zu tun hatten.
Me? I'm in charge? Whoa! Don't worry, boss. You can count on me! And that was how the ingenious Angel Nicole brought you the perfect person for the job in your hour of need. Hip hip hooray!
That was far more detailed than necessary. Not lacking in embellishment either. I never thought I'd return. Especially not the desert. But life doesn't always go as planned, I suppose. What's Candace up to? I don't think I've seen her yet.
She's still taking care of things in our village. Should be joining us before too long. Oh, and sorry. Hope we're not interrupting anything. We have some good news, though.
We're planning to go to the mausoleum of King Deshret to look for the legendary Aru, then use it to try and restore the Akasha system.
According to records in the Temple of Silence, the mausoleum houses something called Aru's Chute, which can be used to establish connection with Aru.
We still have some time before we leave, so there's no rush.
By the way, who are these two new faces?
Just call me Nefer. I'm based in Krai. Did I hear you mention Aru?
Hat nicht gerade selber noch gesagt, die beiden sind gerade neu angekommen? Okay, whatever.
Correct.
Well, I happen to have a connection with one of the 3 retainers imprisoned inside, the Ibis King. I'm here to get things done, so if you don't mind, I think I should come with you.
That sounds perfect.
Miss Nefer, are you from the desert by any chance?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. There's a familiar air about you. Plus, you mentioned Candace. Sorry, I don't mean to pry. It was just a random thought. I'm Dia, an Eremite mercenary. My work usually keeps me out in the desert.
I'm on good terms with Dory, and she's mentioned you all before. It's nice to finally put faces to the names. However, my associate here is probably less well acquainted with you. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Actually, I'm a little better acquainted than you might think.
Huh?
Huh. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? It looked like you spoke without moving your mouth.
Ventriloquism. I have heard tell of it before.
What is it, Kale?
It's you! You're the voice who's been speaking in my head, aren't you? You encouraged me to report my dreams to the Dendro Archon, and got me to recite that magic prayer.
Mm-hmm. I have many titles, but let's go with the most pertinent one. I am Nicole Rain, an angel who has lived since ancient times.
An angel? Sounds like a big deal, but, what exactly is an angel?
Oh, Well, we're a rather long-living race of beings. Not gods, technically, but we can still tell you a lot of stories from ancient history.
Yep, and she's also an amazing sculptor.
You could say she's a real creative type.
Well, ma'am, if both the Traveler and Paimon give you rave reviews, you must be pretty impressive.
Oh, please don't call me ma'am. I find it so awkward when people get too formal with me. Just relax and be yourselves. No need to be nervous.
Miss Nicole, if it's okay, could I ask you a few questions?
Yes, you may. I can see your heart is filled with confusion, and you are desperate for answers. I also know which questions you want to ask me. Why did you dream of Sumeru City in disarray? Why did those verses soothe the Jinn only when recited by you? I can guide you to the truth, but it involves a personal secret of yours. I'd prefer to speak with you alone, if possible.
Ihre God Remains sind von der Floral-Göttin. Ich habe ihren Namen gerade vergessen. Von der Blumengöttin halt. Natürlich dürfen wir das jetzt nicht hören. Ancient Shadows re-emerge. Ask about Colay's secret. Achso, doch, wir dürfen es doch hören. Und Tanari, ich meine, Tanari müsste es mehr oder weniger dann ja auch wissen. Von dem möchte aber keiner mit mir reden. Okay.
Bring it.
Na gut. Ist hier doch noch irgendwo jemand, der reden möchte? Maybe? Nope. Kann hier nicht klettern. Verdammt. Wo ist eigentlich die riesige Arena hin, die mal hier war, in der Cutscene? War doch relativ groß, meine ich, oder? Na gut.
I thought we were going to speak alone. This is a lot more people than I was expecting.
What's wrong with it? Even the doctors at Dar al-Shifa allow patients to be accompanied by family members.
Well, if Krai doesn't mind her secret being revealed, I have no problem with it.
Thanks for being so considerate, Miss Nicole. I don't know what secret you mean, but whatever it is, there's no need for me to hide it from my closest friends.
Closest friends? It's so nice to hear that.
We're here to support Krai through this.
All right. In that case, I'll get right to it. Krai, are you aware that there are god remains inside your body?
I am. When I was young, I got sick with Elazar. Nothing could cure it. The Fatui convinced my mom and dad that they could help, and I was sent to an unfamiliar place. There were a lot of other kids just like me there. This creepy guy injected us with some strange medicine, which I heard contained god remains. I can still remember the pain like it was yesterday. But thanks to the friends who've stuck by me all this time, I've gradually been able to overcome those memories. Anyway, so you're saying that what happened to me has something to do with the god remains they injected me with?
Yes. Those were the remains of Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers.
What? Huh. Fascinating.
You don't seem surprised like the rest of us. Why?
The possibility crossed my mind when Krai recited the Goddess of Flowers song and calmed the Jinn.
You made Paimon jump! What are you doing here, Lilupar?
I was merely passing through when I heard the name of the Goddess of Flowers. Be assured that I share your surprise. You, with the hat. Are you certain? I sense no trace of the Lord of Flowers within her. Well, it is a very small fragment. Unless special methods are used to manifest its power, even her closest acquaintances would find it near impossible to detect. After the goddess passed away, her remains were scattered across the desert. King Deshret gathered all the pieces he could find and buried them in the eternal oasis. But some fragments remained unaccounted for. Eventually, the Fatui must have found a way to track some of them down. Presumably for use in some experiment. It's not an uncommon occurrence. You're more shaken than I thought. In one sense, you've been extraordinarily lucky. So many people who yearn for this kind of power never attain it, yet you have coexisted with her all this time without even realizing it.
I don't know what to say. I'm glad that I could help everyone with this power, really. But knowing that a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers is inside my body is... it's a strange feeling.
Well, people value their autonomy very highly. Even a well-intentioned intruder can shake one's sense of self.
I understand how you feel, Krai. But once you get used to it, you'll find it's nothing to be concerned about.
Huh. I guess you, of all people, have a good reason to speak on this.
2 good reasons, in fact. Incidentally, 3 is the maximum number of Hermanubis' Ba fragments that I could bear.
Ach ja, da war ja was. Warte mal, einen Teil hat er selber gehabt und eins von Cetos. Wo ist das Teil hergekommen? Hermanubis. Ach, jetzt hat man sogar ein Icon zu ihm. Interessant. One of King Dashred's 7 pillars, Saint Hermanubis, the greatest of sages. The only one among the 7 pillars to ascend from humanity to the rank of a god familiar. Born of the Tainar people, he was a sage and warrior known far and wide. Tainar. Tainari. Sincere, steadfast, kind and steady, he earned widespread respect. He was the guide of all priests, and within the academic world he is honored as a foundational figure of desert civilization. Following the passing of King Dashred, Hermanubis led his people to the city of Tulla, where he founded the Temple of Silence to preserve and steward, whatever, all manner of knowledge. To safeguard this lofty and hidden order, he sheltered himself so that his power might be inherited by those who came after. To this day, the members of the Temple of Silence raise their voices in praise of Hermanubis. May his name endure through the ages, and his valor remain immortal across all time. As for his peers among the 7 pillars, whatever they admit or not, all held a deep-seated respect for Hermanubis, even now, a millennium later. The mention of his name stirs memories of the days when they once gathered together in fellowship.
Let me guess. Because 2's company, but 3's a crowd?
Thanks for helping to explain the joke, Tainari.
Not my intention.
Goddess preserve me. I should take my leave. This boy in his wolf's head hat speaks much too differently from the Hermanubis I remember.
Oof. Okay. Ilupa is not amused.
Kale, all I'm trying to say is, no matter how many Hermanubis fragments there are within me, you wouldn't think of me as Hermanubis. In the same way, you are simply you.
Ich fand's gerade schön, wie sich Lilupa da hinten hinter der Wand versteckt hat und hingeguckt hat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So about that dream I had, was it a warning from the Goddess of Flowers?
Yes. Just like me, she was an angel created by the primordial humans, born with the instinct to guide living beings. Though her body and soul have perished, her essence retains its natural instincts. Even her smallest remaining fragments would do their utmost to send you that warning. The Mother of Dreams? Lord of Flowers and Oases? She must have had a premonition. That is why she gave that dream to you.
We won't let our efforts go to waste. But I still don't understand. Why me?
Yes. Why indeed? You weren't the only one injected with god remains, but only in you have her fragments persisted. I suspect it may be because of the firm will you showed in the face of suffering. She was likely assimilated by that will. Of course, this doesn't mean you have to shoulder any extra responsibility. As this young man said, you are who you are, and that will not change. All right, any further questions from the family members of the patient? If not, we should head to the mausoleum of King Dashred.
Let's move out. Time to put our plan into action.
We all hope it'll work. But will we really be able to open Aru? And even if all 7 pillars of King Deshret agree to let us proceed, the scale of the work to follow is daunting, to say the least.
Haven't you handled other big projects before?
I mean, the biggest project I've worked on to date is probably the Palace of Alcazarzaray, I guess? But this is orders of magnitude beyond that. It's a total nightmare.
Look on the bright side. At least this time you're actually here when Sumeru needs you most. You won't have to come asking me for details after the fact.
Mock me all you want. But now that I'm here, things will be resolved far more quickly and smoothly than last time.
Kave's self-doubt disappeared in an instant. Like magic.
Well, this confidence is most gladdening. Now, go and pack your things. We'll head to the mausoleum as soon as you're ready.
Sag mal, holen wir uns eigentlich auch noch Columbina dazu? Ich meine, das ist immer noch die Arkham-Quest von Not Krai eigentlich in gewisser Weise. Okay, von Song of the Welkin Moon. Ja gut, was immer noch Not Krai eigentlich ist, aber ja, sind so ein bisschen lose Fädenverein. Machen sie schon ganz gut an vielen Stellen. Manche vielleicht nicht ganz so sehr, aber overall kann man sich bisher nicht ganz so sehr beklagen. Hätte schlechter sein können. Die fegt in einer scheiß Wüstenruin. Oh mein Gott. Wenn man keine Arbeit hat, macht man sich halt Arbeit. Ah, hier sind noch ein paar Leute. So, unser Wüstentrio.
Good to finally meet you in the flesh. It's a little surreal seeing you here after exchanging letters for so long. In my head, the boss of the Curatorium of Secrets didn't look so young.
Sounds like you have some history then?
Any budding mercenary group needs a steady supply of intel. They, in turn, can prove an exceptional source of the same. The Curatorium of Secrets is happy to cooperate with friends from all over the world. If you're interested, you'd be very welcome to join our network too, Miss Dia.
Can't say no to a solid partnership, especially out here in the desert. Having intel can mean the difference between life and death. But cooperation's built on mutual trust, and there isn't much contact between the desert and Nodcry. So I'm guessing you reached out to Jet first, Miss Nefer? What's behind your interest in the desert? Nostalgia? Or is there someone you're looking to take care of? Let's put all our cards on the table first. Things will go more smoothly that way.
I like your style, Flame Mane. Actually, I had this same discussion with Jet before we started working together. To be clear, I have no intention of using you for any ulterior motives. And I have no enemies in the desert as things stand now. Were that to change, I wouldn't drag outsiders into a conflict that doesn't concern them. There's no point in doing certain things if you don't do them yourself. Wouldn't you agree?
Well said. Taking responsibility for one's own affairs is the way of the desert folk. Huh. It's like you're one of us.
You sure that's a compliment?
Absolutely.
I'll take it. Perhaps we can discuss our cooperation in more detail now?
Sure. I love working with no-nonsense people. And you certainly fit that description. I look forward to a fruitful partnership.
As do I, my friends.
Luna Virgin. Ich sehe es kommen. Hier das Revival in einem halben Jahr, in 2 Jahren. Vielleicht in 2 Jahren, wenn man Glück hat.
Paimon! Thanks again for your notes. I'm done copying them, so here you go.
Und bei Cola erwarte ich irgendwie noch eine Art Cryo-Dendro-Buff-mäßige Sache. Irgendwas so Rhinegrass, wenn das kommt.
You're welcome. Just let Paimon know if you ever need help again.
Ich meine, Rhinegrass könnte theoretisch schon was für Varessa sogar sein. Theoretisch. Eventuell auch was für Sino. Weil Rhinegrass wäre ja Dendro mit Cryo, was gleichzeitig dann wiederum Supraconduct wäre. Also, ich sehe da nur Möglichkeiten drin. Taylor alleine.
Oh, so many books. More than I could ever read in my life. But I've learned a lot that the textbooks could never teach me. I never realized that people in the distant past thought about some of the same questions we ponder today.
Ja, der Sinn des Lebens.
What's wrong? You look a little depressed. Kale got a fragment of the goddess of flowers, and all I got was one of the 7 pillars who served under King Deshret. I lost out, didn't I?
That's what you're upset about? You're such a child.
Wow. Ich würde aber behaupten, allein von euren Rängen her, dass seine 3 Fragments von einem Pillar besser sind als ein Fragment, ein Hauch, Staubkorn von einer Göttin. Ist nur meine Meinung. Go to the Great Hall of Truths. Nice, ich musste nicht selber hinlaufen. Ich muss den Weg da nicht hinfinden. Nice. Welcher Teleporter ist es denn jetzt? Der oder der?
I hope everyone's ready. We'll be arriving at our destination very shortly.
Ja, genau das Ding hatte ich im Kopf. War das schon immer so hell am Leuchten? Damn. Ach, das war das Ding hier. Mhm.
Why, we've not seen so many visitors ever, really. What is this place now, a tourist attraction? Ah, closer inspection reveals many familiar faces. To what do we dusty old fellows owe the honor? Surely you're not just here to chat.
You surmised correctly. We are here to carry out a rather enormous project.
Ho, enormous, you say? How large, then? Larger than the gaping void in our lives? Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Crocco's faces. All this activity is making for quite the special day. I know that laugh. Lilipar? What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, this is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait. As long as you stay alive long enough. When did you 3 get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why, you... Yes, I know. No need to shout. You're right, Lilipar. Goatee, Crocco, and I all have the same problem. But didn't King Deshret seal you away? How did you break free, and how did you get in here?
Who knows? Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the chance. Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind. It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to burst you at the seams.
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Time is of the essence. Let's get down to business. We come to you, O 3 ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academia. If we can help you regain your freedom, then please consider lending us your aid. As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story. So, to demonstrate our sincerity, we are prepared to first resolve the problems that plague the 3 of you.
All right, stop arguing, Crocco. And Goatee, don't you start. What's the harm in letting her speak? It's not worth getting so angry about. Forget about her. The 3 questions are the crucial thing here. But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time, you have found a new answer?
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth, you have to reach their soul.
I think that makes sense.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so. Unfortunately, it brought us no closer to liberation.
Well, that's simply because it was my answer, not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar wanted then?
Time. And that's not only the answer to the final question, it's the answer to all three of them. All things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate eventually fade into nothing. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. Only time can distinguish between right and wrong. You once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is, the more inclined they are to believe that only time is qualified to be their judge.
Time. Well. Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time, to bring love and hate, right and wrong, the rise and fall of all things back to their point of origin.
Wow. Das ging jetzt aber einfacher als gedacht. Naja. Oh mein Gott, keine random NPC gestalten. Und ungefähr genau so hätte man sich eigentlich Mountain Shaper, hieß er so, und ich habe seinen Namen vergessen. Die beiden Adepti halt. Genau so hätte man auch sie designen müssen eigentlich. Aber okay.
This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long time. You have my sincere gratitude.
Are those 3 of the 7 pillars?
Turns out the statues were quite faithful to the source.
Ja, irgendwie sehen die ein bisschen sehr simpel aus, aber okay. Gut. Top. One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, the Scribe of Scribes, the Ibis King. Once a moon envoy, he could once have stood among the gods only to be defeated by King Deshret and brought into his service. Among the 7 pillars, the Ibis King embodies the wisdom of King Deshret. He is exceedingly cunning, possessed for formidable intellect and prowess for offering counsel to King Deshret. Within Sumeru's academic circuit, some scholars believe that many of the desert's upheavals can be traced to this clever king. Certain texts record him as a flatterer and a god of deceit. After being imprisoned in Aru by King Deshret, Soth bestowed 3 gifts. The power of deceit, upon the Tulatula noble Gudars. Power of being loved, upon the Tulatula royal heiress Makaira. And the eyes of seeing through hearts upon the girl of the Shimti Nefer. Long ages of torment have softened Toph considerably, and his constant stream of jokes and criticisms now makes him seem notably more approachable. Die anderen beiden kommen gleich noch eventuell.
You 3 seem to be in good spirits.
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Nevertheless, after everything you've done for me, I sincerely hope you never have to experience it for yourself. Hello, Nefer.
It's good to see you, Thoth, the Ibis King.
Nice. Definitely puts my mind at ease, seeing you 2 getting along so well.
Ja, also das war's dann wohl mit Ashrus Katzenkörper besetzen, aber okay.
Should we maybe introduce ourselves, or...
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino. And this is the former Spantamad sage, Cyrus. But I'm guessing none of that means a whole lot to you.
Everything is equally new to us, in truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer than you can imagine.
Sobek, natürlich Sobek. Nehmen wir einfach jetzt die gesamten ägyptischen Götter. Why not? One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, the captain of captains, Sobek the Crocodile King. He could once have stood among the gods, only to be defeated by King Deshret, and brought into his service. Among the 7 pillars, the Crocodile King embodies the strength of King Deshret. While ruling over war with a hot-tempered and straightforward nature, he also blessed the land with abundance. His statues are commonly found in oases and water temples. Legend tells that he was King Deshret's foremost general who campaigned across many lands. Awed by his raw strength, tenacity, and fury, some mercenaries secretly worship him as their god. Sobek was once competitive and bellicose, but after being imprisoned in Aru alongside Harishaf and Toph, he had to pass the time with tabletop games and has since grown more easygoing. Ja, ich mochte Sobek in Smite. Toph mochte ich mehr, weil Toph ein Damage Dealer war. Und Goatee, ich habe keine Ahnung, wer das sein soll. Na gut.
Let's hold off on the introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give me something to talk about with my chosen disciple.
You're like a helpless parrot. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you two.
Harishaf, nie gehört. One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, the Minister of Ministers, the Goat King. He could once have stood among the gods, only to be defeated, blah blah blah. King embodies the rulership of King Deshret. His manner is enigmatic, his thoughts meticulous, he is the executor of King Deshret's authority, yet he prefers to remain neutral. Generally, unless a matter of great consequence arises, Harishaf will offer no concrete opinion. Silence is his cunning, observation is his wisdom. It is hard to say why he has come to be this way, yet such is the way he exists. Even after being confined within Aru, he seems essentially unchanged.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions. Let's not forget, it was my persistence that won you both your freedom.
Fair point. I have to applaud your persistence.
And I must praise you for your wisdom. Now, state your wishes, young ones.
I'm sorry?
Why, your tremendous accomplishments deserve a reward, do they not? You must let us do something for you in return.
General Mahamatra, what do you think?
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is facing a crisis the likes of which have never been seen before. And we need your help.
Enough recount, blah.
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to us in one way or another, whether we were its cause or consequence.
Whatever is wrong with Irminsul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon. She fell into a coma, and is currently receiving treatment from the Dendro Dragon.
The Dendro Dragon? I'm sorry, the Dendro Dragon is helping to heal the Dendro Archon?
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her basic instincts. Ah, good heavens.
Oh, I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon lend you her aid? She has always held nothing but contempt for the Archons. I suppose she and Kusanali must have some history.
You can help us make history too.
A smooth talker. Well said, lad.
Currently, no one can connect to Irminsul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications to it, we can use its technology to our advantage.
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation. King Deshret never managed to realize his full vision before his death. Much remains to be done if it is to be pitted against Irminsul itself. Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give Aru up over such would be...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time, it was not beyond human means to achieve. Modern technology should solve the efficiency issues. We have no choice but to go all in on this.
This is by no means a threat. But the only reason we helped you escape from Aru was to gain the necessary leverage to negotiate with you. You asked us to state our wishes, and we have. Each one of us here needs your help, as do all the thousands of people living in Sumeru. They need you. And they need Aru.
What do we think, my fellow old fogies? Shall we lend our support or not?
Since you ask so nicely, naturally.
Naturally what? Are you for or against?
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally. You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within?
Trifft hier ihren Vater nochmal? Golden Summer, the early form of the ideal paradise envisioned by King Deshret, free from all limits and constraints. In essence, it is an illusory realm formed from the convergence of countless souls and minds. Also ein bisschen wie das Space-Ding aus dem letzten Patch.
We do. We understand the risks involved.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work. Never will there be another chance to come so close to creating a utopia. Knowing this, are you sure of your decision?
We are sure. Before people can dream, they must first live.
If your minds are made up, very well. We shall summon our erstwhile colleagues to discuss this further. Saint Shezepank, Saint Bennu. Once you surrendered to silence and were buried with King Deshret. But now, we invoke the right to awaken you with our voices.
I can feel the strange sensation. The ground is trembling as if answering the call of the Goat King.
Saint Bennu, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Saint Shezepank, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Natürlich. KIs. Shezepank, whatever. One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, Saint Shezepank, the most holy. Der ist aber neu, oder? Unlike the 3 kings, Shezepank is an intelligent construct fashioned by King Deshret, alle who entrusts him with the duty of overseeing all Jinn of the world. Shezepank possesses a will of his own, following the passing of King Deshret, al-Ahmar. He sees his own functions and fell into stillness. Though Shezepank and Bennu are both intelligent constructs, personalities are worlds apart. Lass ich raten, und der nächste im Bunde ist Ben. Where Bennu is severe, Shezepank is leisurely. In times past, he would often wander the desert in his spare time, asking travelers all manners of questions. Driven by a profound curiosity, he will tirelessly pursue any matter that piques his interest to its very heart. Ist es eine Sphinx, oder? Ich muss an die Yu-Gi-Oh! Karte denken. Belastungsprobe eines Reisenden. Na, ich suche eine Karte auf meiner Hand aus und du musst raten, ob es Monster Zauberfalle ist. Rätst du falsch, ist dein Monster wieder auf der Hand. Ich mochte die Karte. Wo war ich jetzt gerade? Looking back, this was perhaps because he oversaw the Jinn, whose mother was Nabu Malikata. Aha. He oversaw the Jinn, whose mother was Nabu Malikata. Also, ja, ich dachte, das ist Lilupa. Aber okay. The goddess of flowers, an angel of wisdom who delighted in posing questions. Through what the Jinn relayed to him, Shezepank too developed a fondness for inquiry. In short, Shezepank believes that maintaining a leisurely air is a good thing, a piece of worldly wisdom for navigating life, a sentiment much to Bennu's annoyance. He also often thinks fondly of his old colleague Hermanubis. Mhm. Ich meine, das sind jetzt 6 Stück mit Herrn Hermanubis und das sind 7 Pillar. Und die 7. wird dann ja höchstwahrscheinlich in dem Moment noch irgendwer sein, der dazukommt, also Ben. One of King Deshret's 7 pillars, Saint Bennu, the most radiant. Unlike the 3 kings, Bennu is an intelligent construct fashioned by King Deshret, who entrusted him with the duty of guarding the gates of Aru. Bennu possesses a will of his own. He watches over the internal utopia within Aru, the golden slumber. Following the passing of King Deshret, he ceased his own functions and fell into stillness. Despite being an intelligent construct, Bennu possesses a remarkably vivid personality. Serious and earnest, he detests having his plans disrupted, and has little tolerance for irresponsible colleagues. He has also frankly stated that among the 7 pillars, the colleague he admires most is Hermanubis, the Sage of Sages. Ja, gut, weiter.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff. What a long time it has been. I trust you are keeping well.
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have always opened with that same phrase, in life, death, and now even beyond.
Al-Akhmar is long gone. What is the reason for this meeting?
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru access to Aru and permit them to perform technological renovations. You have the right to support or oppose the motion.
Aru is the pride of Al-Akhmar. Opening Aru requires the unanimous consent of the 7 pillars. I hope you have a convincing reason to present to us.
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget that while Al-Akhmar was a stern ruler, he was also a teacher of wisdom. A god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people. Let us then honor our God King's wishes as we consider our decision.
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the 7 pillars, the Dendro Dragon Apep, will never communicate with us?
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But Apep is, in fact, healing the Dendro Archon as we speak.
Oh, ich habe vergessen, dass Apep auch ein Pillar war. Eine Pillardame war. Das heißt, wir haben quasi 6 Kerle und eine Frau bei den Pillars. Alle unplayable characters. Merkt da was.
Huh? Can someone attest to this? Do we have any proof?
I ask the 3 kings. Can any of you vouch for the truth of this claim?
Naturally, the Ibis King, Thoth.
What?
It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability. That way the rest of us may have a clear conscience.
Herreshoff, you diabolical fiend.
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and backed your decision. What sort of fiend would do that?
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around. At times like this, he would offer to take accountability.
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis's?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you? I, Saint Shezpank, approve the Goat King's proposal.
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Nevertheless, I sincerely hope that those before us understand the significance of what they intend to do. Remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls residing within the Golden Slumber will return to the ley lines. And once the ley lines flow again, these souls shall in turn be received by Irminsul. To take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife created by our king to a permanent end.
We understand that well, and we have decided to proceed regardless. Furthermore, the contemporary human perspective would contend that confining souls in this way is no act of benevolence. The deceased have a right to rest in peace.
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace. It is just that many do not see it this way. But no matter. Saint Binu approves.
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King have also granted permission to liberate Aru. by the grace of His Majesty, guided by His wisdom and will, let the gates of Aru be reopened.
Aha. Das Millenniums-Puzzle öffnet sich.
Hey! Look at that!
What's this? Are we under attack? No. Wait,
Jetzt, Vater. These look like swords, silhouettes, approach us from far, within the light, then pass through our bodies like wind through a veil.
Here you are. Through the sands of time. I see you.
Father. Father, is it really you?
It's Jet's father, Jibriel! That's right! He entered the golden slumber, didn't he?
I smell blood and sand on you. You've grown, strong as a wild beast, and without shedding a tear.
You have to leave, don't you? Please, just answer me this. What should I do for you?
This meeting is a blessing from the gods. My soul, once imprisoned along with that of Samael, is finally free. I am truly grateful for the chance to see you again. That the dead should meet the living is itself a miracle. One brief, precious moment is enough. Enough to set my heart at ease. Do not weep for me, Jet. I know you will accomplish many great things in your life. You will go further and climb higher than I ever did. All I ask is that you take good care of yourself.
Father! Father! Father.
Hey, Jet. Do you want something to eat? Maybe it'll help you feel better.
Really, Paimon, in so einer Situation?
I'm fine. Thanks, Paimon. It was just a little sudden. The chance to see my father again meant the world to me. He was trapped in the golden slumber for our sake. And now, after all this time, he can finally rest in peace. I'm glad. It's a huge relief.
You've grown strong, Jet. More than enough to fend for yourself.
Yeah. I'll leave the past in my memory where it belongs. My family, the good times and the bad. Goodbye, Father.
Ah, me, what a touching reunion that was. It seems we did a good deed today.
We three retainers, once imprisoned for our iniquity, are surely the least qualified to judge whether this deed is good or bad. Either way, Aru is open. Now you have your opportunity, and with it, whatever trouble may ensue. Although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world. Perhaps the relationship between gods and humanity follows a similar principle.
As for your proposed renovations, we cannot determine which functions to keep or discard. Proceed as you see fit, but please entrust the task to your most accomplished scholars, or Bennu will be most displeased.
It matters not. The Ibis King shall be accountable if any problems arise. Ibis, you chose to take on disciples, and so it follows that you must accept the risks of associating with humans.
If I'd known you'd be like this, I would have locked all of you away in Aru, never to leave again for all eternity.
All of us? What does this have to do with me?
Vilify me no further. Scholars, since you have liberated Aru, allow me to present you with a gift. Using Aru's power, we shall install a defense mechanism at our king's mausoleum. You must be guarded even against Irminsul itself. This shall afford you some convenience. Unseen and unheard. From this moment forth, none may by sight or hearing perceive anything said or done within the mausoleum.
Amazing. And all this is achieved just with the power of Aru?
With technology from the heavens, the possibilities are endless. Just because King Deshret did not use it for this purpose does not mean that it cannot be done. So, marvel away. This is the reward you have earned.
All right. Well, that resolves the issue of confidentiality. What about the technical side? Do we have the manpower?
Why, yes. I've already contacted them. They'll be here soon.
It's all for emptiness. Ach, das war jetzt der Akt. Okay. Hat ja nur 3 Stunden gedauert. Gut. Darkness Dooming, habe ich jetzt direkt den nächsten Quest-Part? Ja. Gut, das wäre dann da oben. Das heißt, ich kann jetzt mit den Leuten reden und dann habe ich dann quasi hier einen guten Punkt zum Cutten. Nice. So, unser... Die sehen alle gleich aus. Alle gleich muskulös. Die haben alle nur einen anderen Kopf bekommen und ein anderes Farbschema. Aber ansonsten, ich meine, ich würde sie als Charaktere schon irgendwie feiern. Aber warum ist Sobek blau und Toff rot? Sobek müsste grünlich sein und Toff müsste blau sein. Und Harry Schaff, keine Ahnung, no one cares.
Ah, fresh air. A wondrous feeling.
Naturally.
Ah, I have a sudden urge to stretch my legs. Can anyone recommend a suitable leisure activity?
I might have had some recommendations for you were this the past, but here and now, for someone who has just left prison, there could be no greater joy than simply being outside of it at last.
I could not agree more.
Mich würde das jetzt interessieren, ob Toffs englischer Sprecher hier der gleiche ist wie in Smite. Ich bin es vor, jetzt nachzugucken.
As I thought. The so-called 7 pillars of King Deshret are as underwhelming as ever.
What do you mean? Not a fan of the boys' club?
As men, as individuals, and even as gods, they are entirely undeserving of my attention. Al-Akhmar once commanded me to select a king from among the people. So naturally my eyes will open only for one who is worthy.
Ugh. Can we talk about something else? It all sounds pretty complicated, and I haven't read that many storybooks.
You think this is a mere story? Well, many would also say that the journey you shared with your father is not but a tale. My life, your life, they are nothing but stories. Little girl, it appears that you really have grown. In the past, you would have flown into a blind rage at my words, but now you are unperturbed.
Oh, it's nothing. I just feel like you're right. Getting all pissed at someone for telling the truth is pointless. It only makes me look petty.
This alone is proof enough of your growth. You're doing well, my dear girl. You're becoming ever stronger. Strong enough to defend the people and things you hold dear.
You think so? I hope you're right.
Könnten jetzt endlich mal die World Quest vertont werden, dann würde ich auch besser mitkommen wahrscheinlich. Weil ich nicht selber die ganze Zeit lesen muss. Na gut. Achso, hier ist ja keiner jetzt, mit dem ich reden kann. Na gut. Der Random NPC Club hier. Die nicht vertont sind, wirklich. And what's your price student doing? What else would he be doing? Whatever yours is. Warum? Selbst die anderen NPCs auf der anderen Seite sind vertont. Warum die nicht? Included with them, I suppose. Huh, these kids are rarely apart, are they? Oh, it is always said that your school days stay with you forever. This goes doubly So for Sumeru, where school days can be long indeed, wouldn't you say? Well, does it look like I'm immune? Settled as I am with you and Zaha Hadi? Oh, what's that? Tired of us already? And speaking of Zaha Hadi, you mentioned out of the blue how you doodle on your books while studying. That's hardly all I used to do while hitting the books. You said that you once circled the name of the murderer in a detective novel, and that just in case someone missed it, you wrote, "Murderer is so and so" as a hint. On the title page, no less. Did I know? I suppose I always was the creative type. Oh, love it up, would you? Young Cyrus really was a budding genius, wasn't he? Full of wild ideas, more like. And you are still very much that kid, you know? A living example of how your school days stick with you. As they have with you, you straight-laced prick. You know what? Let's leave it at that. Might as well bear with one another rather than expect us to turn our lives around. Or something. Truth be told, you should probably keep an eye on Sino and his friends. We will all need to treat more carefully than we used to. I will. Take care of yourself as well, right? Don't let the pressure get to you. Uh-huh.
Do you hear that? Sounds like your teacher is scolding mine.
Huh. Classic.
Did you see her? She's a former Vahumana student who dropped out of the academia and went to Krai to work as an intel broker. There's more to her than meets the eye.
How can you tell? Do the Matra have information on her?
Some, but nothing telling. I'm basing it on the fact that she seems to be an expert liar. She can fool many with her words.
A sixth sense for liars after investigating so many of them, I take it?
Yep. What about you? What do you make of her?
A little earlier, in the corner, I noticed she gave some supplies to Jet and had her deliver them to the main group.
She's meticulous and highly observant.
Besides, what was it you said? Making it to the top is no easy feat in any profession. Anyone who's at the top of their game has to have some sort of edge over others.
It's true, but she's not the only one at the top of her game. I also am, and so are you.
Sure, but what's to guarantee she won't overhear us talking about her?
Don't worry, I have my methods. Sethos is distracting her.
Ah, I see.
Aha, okay, sie trauen ihr noch nicht ganz. Fair enough.
You must be Sethos, the successor to the Temple of Silence. Hello.
Yep, that's me. Nefer, right? That's what I heard the others calling you. Judging by your outfit, I'm guessing you come from the desert too?
That's right. Started off in the desert, went to the rainforest, then went from there to Krai, where I work as an intel broker.
Huh. Well, this is interesting. You don't seem to talk about yourself all that much. Yet here you are, volunteering your life story to me. However abridged.
Maybe I'm looking to make some new friends.
I like making friends too. I'm easier to talk to than Sino and a little more streetwise than Tainari.
Which is why you came over this way, giving me the chance to strike up a conversation with you.
Was I that obvious?
I think you did fine. You were mindful of my attitude and hoped to lure me in through sentiment.
Lure you in isn't exactly how I'd put it. I see it more as an invitation.
An invitation to what?
To put down your luggage. Lay down your burdens. To return to your homeland. And be truly welcome in the place you once felt so estranged from.
You're a more interesting heir to Bamun than I was expecting.
Since you're familiar with my grandfather, I'll assume you're aware of our situation. I'd like to make friends with you. And I think you'd be a great asset to us. Not to mention the power you and I both hold. Originally belonged to the same organization.
Aha, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay, you do you. Freundet euch an, bekämpft euch, mir egal. Wird eh nicht weiter aufgebaut. Gut. Hat er nicht hier gespeichert? Ja, wahrscheinlich. Aber ich mache trotzdem, glaube ich, gleich noch weiter. Aber... Aber... Muss ja wieder da ins Menü gehen. So. Aber ich mache jetzt hier einen kleinen Cut. Ganz kurz Pause und dann mache ich gleich noch eine Stunde oder so. Gut. Ja. Also spannend ist was anderes und wir haben keine einzige Cutscene gehabt. In der gesamten Archon Quest bisher, aber okay. Warum man dann Akt 9, ach Gott, ich kann nicht mehr reden. Akt 9 und Akt 10 draus macht. Statt nur Akt 9, keine Ahnung. 10 ist eine schönere Zahl. Thematisch ein bisschen getrennt. Das war jetzt quasi der Prolog, der Aufbau. Und jetzt kommt quasi das Rambazamba. Na gut. Ja, dann wie gesagt, ich glaube, ich mache dann jetzt hier den Cut. Also ich glaube es nicht nur, ich mache es einfach. Und dann mache ich gleich weiter. Ciao, adios und so weiter und so fort.